Nutrabio's Intra has reigned supreme as one of the top intra workouts for some years now, but I'm super excited because leg day from Nutrabio is here to break that cycle and give you something for your more hardcore days. Now, we all know that leg day takes a little bit extra in terms of intensity, focus, energy you got to bring. You might be eating up more before the days. You might be adding more salt to make sure that you are hydrated for that day. But Nutrabio is here to challenge you with their leg day to make every day as intense as leg day. Leg day is a combination of their original Intra with some aspects of super carb, and they've even got some new ingredients that Nutrabio's never used before. I'm really excited about this one because Nutrabio, in terms of actual sports supplements, hasn't come out with like a full new formula in some time, and they're really taking a step in this new ingredient direction with this one. You're going to see some exciting new ingredients. You're going to see some ones that we talk about pretty frequently. You're going to see some ones we don't talk about too frequently. So let's jump in and we're going to talk about what is leg day? How is it different from Intra? What are you going to feel from it? And how do you use it specifically? Because I'm going to recommend a very specific protocol for using this product to get the most out of it. You guys are obviously probably well accustomed to Nutrabio's Intra, an awesome EAA formula that's been around for some time now. With 10 grams of EAAs, their strength and performance matrix, their electrolyte and hydration optimizer, they really did a good job of giving a really well-rounded intra workout here. It took it a step further with leg day. They added some stuff. There were some things taken out of the normal intra to make room for leg day, but I think that we came out with a very net positive product for the market. So let's start at the top and let's talk about I guess this is a bit of an elephant in the room for this one product. There are carbohydrates in here. If you have a total carbohydrate macro count for the day, you need to make sure you're counting this into it. But the good news is it's mostly cluster dextrin with some added ribose. We've got 25 grams of highly branched cyclic dextrin, HBCD, or cluster dextrin is the trademark name, alongside some bioenergy ribose, D-ribose. Now, we love this because, first of all, cluster dextrin is just a legendary carbohydrate source. Clears the gut extremely quickly, does not pull a lot of blood for digestion, and it slowly digests through the intestines where you're going to get a nice feed of carbohydrates without a drop in blood sugar, a quick insulin response, anything like that. So you are eliminating gastric distress, but also eliminating that drop in blood sugar that you might get from a dextrose or any sort of simple sugar that you'd be getting during your workout. Now, alongside that, we're getting ribose, which is a quick acting carbohydrate, but you've only got 5 grams in here. Ribose is really important. We saw an ATP evolution for Nutrabio. It's awesome for energy for workouts. There's not too much of it here, so you're going to be sipping on this through your workout. You're not going to feel any kind of real rush of sugar from this. You can add some extra. If you are a larger person, I would recommend adding a little bit extra cluster dextrin to this during your workout, which you can always pick up from Nutrabio's Super Carb. But this amount here, I'm happy because it's going to be able to be effective for smaller individuals, women, or your super heavyweight males. You can always add more carbohydrates for males. This doesn't pigeonhole it too far into a product for larger folks. It's pretty versatile for that reason. That's a dual carbohydrate and energy blend. You're going to get 30 grams of carbs from there. And there's also a good 2 grams that's traced, I think, from the cocoa pure as well as the flavor section. So you get 2 extra grams, you get 32 total grams, but mostly we're looking at the carbohydrates from the cluster dextrin and the ribose here. This is where it gets really fun though. This is this is the spot where you didn't get this from the super carb, you didn't get it from the Intra, the leg day performance matrix. We've got 450 milligrams of some pretty exciting ingredients here that are going to be helpful for your workout. We're starting out here with L-Dopa. Now, this is a mucuna pruriens extract. It's standardized to 98% L-Dopa. It's a pretty strong standardization here. Although this is pretty normal to see, we don't always see this with the actual standardization transparent, but as we know with all things Nutrabio, they're always transparent. They're always going to give you the extract amount. They're going to give you all the other ingredients. You know, everything that's in this bottle is right on the label. So we're getting 150 milligrams of L-Dopa. Now, L-Dopa is also known as levodopa. It is an amino acid that's a precursor to dopamine in the body. Dopamine's a neurotransmitter that leads to feelings of happiness. Gives you an overall sense of well-being, reward, pleasure during your workout, and most notably can give you a feeling of motivation. So thinking of leg day here, it's going to give you that good feeling for your workout. You're moving weight, you're pushing blood into your legs. It's my favorite day of the week. I'll be honest with you, squatting is my favorite thing to do in the gym, and I absolutely love this L-DOPA feeling while I'm training for that reason. Now, not only that, but a study published in the Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine found that L-DOPA, or the mucopurins extract, had very potent neuroprotective benefits as well. There's also some research to say that it might boost serum testosterone and luteinizing hormone as well. So you get a bunch of different benefits here, but I'm mostly looking at it for that acute benefit of in that workout, you're feeling good, you're feeling motivated, you're feeling happy with what you're doing. So it is a pretty pronounced effect. If you've taken L-DOPA before, you know what I'm talking about. So after that, we move into LF-ATP, which is an ancient pear and apple fruit extract. This is 150 milligrams, which is exactly what we're looking for this one. Now, LF-ATP is from Futureceuticals. You may recognize Futureceuticals as the makers of S7, Spectra, Neurofactor, which we're going to see further on. But LF-ATP is a pretty cool one because it helps out with the actual performance in the workout. This ingredient specifically increases levels of ATP within the body. ATP is the source of energy for your body. So your muscles are going to need this to produce force to move weights. It's cool because it does this without any use of stimulants. So you can very easily use this leg day with any pre-workout you want. Of course, Nutrabio wants you to be using their pre or their pre-stim free, but because of that factor, you can use this with any sort of level of pre-workout, whether it is full of stimulants, it's chock full of caffeine or whatever you want to get in your body, or you're just using it with a pump product as well. In fact, part of the protocol I'm going to give is using a portion of this serving pre-workout. You might even be able to get away with not using pre-workout at all because of how chock full this is. The study that showed an increase in intracellular ATP in blood cells was shown at 150 milligrams. So we're happy to see it at 150 milligrams. It's the exact clinical dosage we're looking for. This is going to help you move that weight on that leg press, that squat. Hopefully you're squatting on your leg day or whatever heavy movement it is so that you can progress your numbers over time, get stronger in the gym, produce that hypertrophy, get onto your next training session. Now, the next ingredient we have, like I said before, Neurofactor is also coming out of that same company, Futureceuticals. We're big fans of Futureceuticals. They make some cool stuff, and Neurofactor is one of my favorites from them. Neurofactor is a coffee bean extract, and at 100 milligrams, it is the exact clinical dosage we're looking for. This ingredient specifically can boost mental energy. It's very profound in my opinion. It does something that almost no other supplement we know of does, which is boosting brain-derived neurotrophic factor. BDNF is how we usually refer to it. Now, if you're interested in learning more about this, you can go over to our blog and check out the whole write-up on this. We did a big deep dive on it. I usually use this as a bit of an outline for our videos, but just to give you a little bit more of an in-depth look at it, BDNF is a neurotropic factor that promotes differentiation, maturation, and the survival of neurons, and it expresses neuroprotective, anti-inflammatory, and immunomodulatory properties. Research shows that BDNF activates the growth of new neurons via neurogenesis. Furthermore, BDNF has been identified in nearly all areas of the brain, suggesting that it's incredibly important to brain function and health. The opposite here, low levels of BDNF, has been identified and linked to increased risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases, including Parkinson's, Huntington's, and multiple sclerosis. Beyond offering neuroprotective effects, BDNF plays a crucial role in energy balance. And in addition to that, high levels of BDNF have been linked to improved learning capability, mood, and memory. 100 milligrams of it is not a lot to add into any product, but it's super helpful. And like I said, very profound in effects. I find that when I add this to energy drinks, pre-workouts, and in this case, an intra workout, I have much improved focus. I think that you guys are really going to like this product. Now, lastly, here we have an ingredient that you may have recognized previously under a different name, but has recently been renamed, and we are huge fans of it, and even growing fans now that we're really using it so much more. Synactive from Nuliv was previously known as Actogen. We've known about this for a few years. In fact, at my time at Nutrabio, I remember sitting down with Lewis, a sales rep for Nuliv, who sat down and gave me capsules of this before it was really popular. So ironically, I was using this back in my time at Nutrabio, and it's finally making its way into one of Nutrabio's products in Leg Day. Now, Nuliv's Synactive is backed by quite a few, I think 4 human clinical studies. One in which they took cyclists and with using Synactive, conducted biopsies on, I think, their leg muscles prior to, immediately after, and 3 hours after training. Muscle tissue that they observed actually had incredibly lower levels of inflammation when they were using the Synactive, as well as enhanced glycogen replenishment. The take home message is lower levels of inflammation as well as increased levels of glycogen replenishment. And in addition to that, in terms of performance, which isn't their main claim, but it is there's about a 20% VO2 max improvement. Although it is important to note that overall aerobic performance did not improve, the VO2 max did. And that's the research intense section there. That's going to be a really powerful section that I felt personally in the workout. Following that, we have the Intrablast Amino section. Now, this is important to note that it is a little bit different than the normal Intrablast. I'm assuming in order to make a little bit more room, they actually lowered the BCA dosage. In normal Intrablast, they have 7.4 grams of BCAs, which is down to 5 grams. I'm still a fan of it because it's at 2 to 1 to 1 ratio. You don't need a ton of these here, but the rest of the essential amino acids stayed the same. But one thing that we've actually already been asked about is the numbers are a little bit different. So you'll notice that the Intrablast Amino is a little bit different from the normal amino acid matrix in Intrablast. You've got 8.6 grams of Intrablast Aminos overall with 7.6 grams of EAAs. 5 grams of BCAAs is obviously a part of the EAAs, but you'll notice that it's a little bit different in terms of the amounts here. One of the things that they did here is they moved up the arginine from the strength and performance matrix. It used to be an OKG in Intrablast. I think it's still going to stay there. But when it moved up into the Intrablast Aminos matrix, switch it to L-ornithine hydrochloride. Now, L-ornithine is really helpful for endurance in the gym. It can help convert lactic acid into arginine, which is useful for more pump, but at the very least, it's going to help with endurance. There is some logic there that would say that it would give you a bigger pump, but at the very least, it's going to help with your work capacity in the gym, helping you train longer per set, per workout, thus giving you a better workout, better effects, and more damage to the muscle, which you will be obviously treating after your workout with some protein, great training, and recovery techniques. Now, at the bottom here, we have our electrolyte and hydration optimizer. 2 grams of taurine. You guys here know I love taurine. It's the same 2 grams that's in the Nutrabio'S, but I wanted to call that out as well. They've got Calci K, Cocoa Pure, pink Himalayan sea salt, and sodium phosphate, as well as dimagnesium malate. Now, these are all coming from different areas. The Calci K and the dimagnesium malate are from Albion, which are awesome creators of electrolytes in this case. Cocoa Pure is just a trademark coconut water powder that you've got at 500 milligrams. The pink Himalayan salt and the sodium phosphate are just non-name brand generic. But the big take home here is that taurine is going to help a ton with hydration as well as power output and focus in some cases. But the Calci K, the Cocoa Pure, the pink Himalayan salt, the sodium phosphate, and the dimagnesium malate are going to help with a few different things such as hydration. Your muscles are a huge amount of water, but also these things are very important for contractions of muscles. So don't just look at this as hydration. Without these electrolytes, it is literally impossible for your body to contract muscles. Calcium and sodium specifically, as well as the magnesium, are super related to actual performance in the gym. Do not neglect these things in your performance in your regimen. Lastly, they added an estrogen here, which was not in Intrablast, but we see it in Nutrabio'S absorbed very frequently. You've got 50 milligrams here, super helpful because it is actually clinically proven to help the absorption of amino acids in your body, as well as just lowering intestinal wall inflammation. There are not studies on every single ingredient here, but I always bring up that with estrogen, by lowering intestinal wall inflammation, you're going to at least improve your digestion and improve the absorption of ingredients in food. All. That's leg day there. I want to talk a little bit about how you would use this product and what to expect. I expect longer time to failure, a larger work capacity in the gym, more focus, probably better contractions because of the focus factors. But how you want to use this is by mixing it up. I would recommend when you take your pre-workout 20 to 30 minutes out, you chug that pre-workout. And I assume most people are going to do that on the way to their car and then drive to the gym as it hits. Make sure that you're mixing this up when you mix your pre-workout. Drink that pre-workout, that 20, 30 minutes out. And at that time, start drinking your Intrablast. During that 20 to 30 minutes, you want to look to consume about a third or a quarter between that amount of that serving before you hit the gym so that some of these nootropic things can start to hit. Because of the timing of your gastric emptying, because of the cluster reduction in here, some of these things are going to deliver pretty quickly. But you still do need to digest them for them to be absorbed in the body. And if you're sipping them throughout the workout, they're never really going to hit that peak amount that you need from that efficacious dose. So my best advice is to make sure that you're sipping this on the way to the gym so you can start to feel the benefits. Some of these things you should consume a lot of it before you get to the gym so that you can feel it. That neurofactor I'm really looking at here, that Elevate TP is really important here. The rest of them, it's important to be sipping throughout the workout. The electrolytes, the amino acids are going to start recovery and stuff like that. but specifically the neurofactor and the elevate ATP, I want to make sure you're getting in a decent amount before you hit the gym so that it can start getting into your brain and helping you out. And that's leg day from Nutrabio. I'm super excited about this formula. I'm the kind of guy that on leg days, I go all in, but it's important to remember on other days to bring that same intensity, to bring that same thought process into your diet, your training, your recovery, your intensity. So it's a good reminder. Take this product before your back days, your chest days, your shoulder days, all those things, and make sure you bring the same thought process as you would if you were getting ready for a 700-pound squat. I do have to say at the end here, I did get this product for free. I did work at Nutrabio for 4 years of my life. The guys over there are great friends of mine. So yeah, I am biased. We did get these products for free, and we do have a business affiliate relationship with Nutrabio, but I hope that this breakdown was informative and helpful for you guys to understand how the product works and how you can use it yourself. If you have any questions, you can comment below. I'll be checking the comments on this one and answering anything you have about leg day, about Intra, about Nutrabio in general. But in any case, I really appreciate you making this far in the video. And as always, guys, have a great day.
Welcome to PricePlow.